Hi, I'm Chelly Wood, and this is my tiny sewing room where I make doll clothes sewing videos. Today, I'm going to show you how to sew snaps. I'm told in the United Kingdom they're called poppers. We're going to sew them on a doll's garment like this doll's felt coat. Sew-on snaps or poppers come in a variety of sizes. Size 40 snaps are ideal for 11-inch doll's clothes. Size 20 snaps work best with 12 to 17-inch doll's clothes. The little 10 snaps are great for 18-inch or larger dolls. On a package of Dritz snaps like these ones, you'll find the size at the bottom of the card. Snaps that you buy in bulk sometimes don't have an actual hole in the middle of the snap, and that's kind of a crucial part of sewing it. Without the hole in the middle, it can be challenging to align the snaps from the top snap to the bottom. So if you happen to have one with a hole in it, if that's the kind of snap you're working with, go to timestamp 5 minutes 44 seconds. Now let's look closely at today's snaps. Begin by removing the snaps from the package. One piece, it looks like a top hat, is called the stud. It sticks out in the middle. The other piece is called a socket. It has a little depression in the middle. Now I usually work with the socket first. You're going to want to start at the top or the bottom of your garment. You can use a little straight pin to mark where you want your snap to go. Before you start to sew your snaps though, you need to make sure that the garment actually overlaps a little bit. Begin by sewing the socket piece onto the garment. Here I've sewn 2 sides surrounding the depression. Next I sew the other 2 sides that surround the depression, so the depression in the socket is not blocked by my thread. You can use a straight pin to hold it in place, but you don't have a hole in the middle, so you can see in this video that I'm just sticking a straight pin through one of the holes that I send the thread through. To attach the stud, send a straight pin through the outer flap of the garment, pushing it all the way through a side hole in the socket piece. Okay, so here's what I mean. I've got my socket already sewn on. Now I close the gap, I close it up, and then I stick my straight pin through one of those side holes that I have already sent thread through. Okay, and this helps me line up my my next snap. So pull the straight pin out of that side hole in the socket, but leave it in the upper closure of the fabric. Now slide the stud onto the straight pin, aligning the side hole that you've slid it onto. Use your thumb to position it, giving it your best guess about how it will probably align with the socket. Hide your knot under the stud, sewing 2 stitches on the top and the bottom around the stud. Alright, so I'm going to hide my knot under, and then I'm just going to, it does help to kind of eyeball it like that. Okay, it's a little trickier with your straight pin in there, but you want to keep that in until you're ready. Finish attaching the stud by sewing the other 2 areas around the center. Okay, now I've taken my straight pin out at this point because I don't need it anymore. And I'm just doing maybe 2 passes. It's possible to hide a little French knot under the stud like you see me doing here. I did a couple of passes of thread across the top, the bottom, and each side. Now your knot won't be visible from the outside of the garment. If you're careful, you can make a sort of crisscross with your stitches along the back closure. Before sewing your next stud on, I recommend that you join the stud to the socket that you've just sewn. And this will seal the top pair of snaps shut. Now you sew on a socket and use a pin to estimate where the next stud goes. Continue sewing snaps evenly spaced apart until you feel like your garment closes adequately. Then you're ready to try it on a doll. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how to sew snaps or poppers that have a hole in the middle. So this is a little different than the ones we just did. Before you start to sew, make sure the garment overlaps a little bit. Use straight pins to mark the top and the bottom of your garment. Sew-on snaps come in a variety of sizes. Size 40 snaps are ideal for 11-inch doll clothes. Size 20 snaps work best on 12 to 17-inch dolls clothes. And then the 10 snaps are great for 18-inch or larger dolls. On a package of Dritz snaps like these ones, the size is found at the bottom of the card. Begin by removing the snaps from the package. You do this by simply separating them. Let's look closely at our snaps. One piece that looks kind of like a top hat is called a stud. It sticks out in the middle. The other piece is called a socket. It has a little depression right in the middle. Send a straight pin through this center hole. The pin will hold the snap steady while you sew. Bring a needle and thread through a side hole. Send your needle back through a nearby side hole. The thread should never cross the depression. From the back, send your needle through one of the side holes you have not yet used. Now back through the fourth side hole. Be careful not to stab yourself. The thread now forms lines on each side of the depression in the socket. The socket should be stable enough now to remove the straight pin that you had holding it in place. Send your needle through the side holes in the same order as before. Once you've made at least 3 passes, well, if it's a smaller snap, 2 passes on each side, then send your needle through for 3 more passes on the other side, or 2 more passes on the other side of the depression. Okay, so you can see I've got 1 pass and then 2 passes. At the back of the socket, on the other side of the fabric, create a French knot. Trim close to the fabric. If your stitches were very similar, the back will have a pretty little crisscross stitch. Sometimes I like to sew a snap at the top and the bottom so I can estimate the distance between the other snaps. Here's a time-lapse video of me sewing a snaps socket onto this felt shirt for dolls. Okay, so I stick my little pin in and then I start going through the outside holes, remove my straight pin, continue to sew around. You want to leave that the depression in the socket wide open. You don't want to cross over it. And then I sew a knot at the back. Now let's learn how to sew on the stud. Use a straight pin to mark the opposite side of the garment. Send another straight pin right through the top flap of the fabric and all the way through the hole in the socket's center. This helps you align the stud with the socket. Press it all the way through. Make sure the fabric's edge lines up at the neck. Pull the straight pin out of the socket, but do not remove the pin from the fabric where you're going to sew the stud. Slide the stud onto the straight pin. Make sure its extended center points outward. Slip your needle and thread under the stud. Catch fabric with your needle before pulling your needle through a side hole. This will hide the knot under the stud. Send your needle back through a nearby side hole. When you pull the needle through, it will look like this. Can you see that little hidden knot? It's barely sticking out from under it. From the other side, poke your needle through the opposite side hole. Send it back through the remaining side hole. Now that you've stabilized the stud with the thread, it's okay to just take the straight pin out. And that's what you see me doing here. I'm removing the straight pin after stabilizing the stud. And you can see that there's two little threads holding it in place now. Make 3 more passes across each side hole area. And like I said, for smaller ones, just do 2 passes. Don't do 3 passes for smaller snaps or poppers, because they don't really work well if you have too much thread. Now sew the sides that you've not finished yet. Okay, so once again, in and out around the outside of that extension that pops out like a top hat from the stud. And you want to do maybe 2 or 3 passes of thread. Make 3 passes, or like I said, 2 across the top and bottom before you tie your knot. Instead of tying the knot in the back like we did with the other snap, catch some fabric under the stud and tie another French knot right here. That way it won't be visible from the outside of the garment. You want that knot on the same side as the stud. And trim it real close to the knot if you can. Now your knot won't be visible from the outside part of the garment. Before sewing your next set of snaps on, join the stud to the socket just to kind of see where your next snap should go and to seal them shut. So you want to make sure they're all the way shut, and then you can kind of eyeball, where's my next snap going to go? This helps you estimate where the next snap goes, especially after you've already sewn on the socket and then you stick your straight pin through. If the straight pin doesn't seem to align like you want it to with the other stud, okay, after you've sewn a stud on, reposition your straight pin before sliding the next stud on. You want to make sure they line up good. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm making sure it aligns nicely. Follow the same steps as before. When you're done, you want the snaps as evenly spaced as possible. And it's nice if you can have crisscross thread at the back. I made one crisscross purple so you can really see it, and it does look nice that way. Here's a time-lapse video of me sewing a snap stud onto this felt shirt for dolls. Okay, so I've used that straight pin to align where the stud goes. Hide my knot. Take the straight pin out. Continue to send a couple more passes of thread. Okay, and then I'm going to tie a little knot on the other side, the inside, close to the stud. For free doll clothes sewing patterns, to fit dolls of many shapes and all different sizes, please remember to visit my website, chellywood.com. Hi, I'm Chelly Wood. I've been asked, how do you get so much sewing done? Well, of course, I have a trick. I use a sewing planner to help me achieve my sewing goals. And now I have uploaded it to my Etsy store. So in my Etsy store, I'm offering an editable version of the sewing planner that I use for setting goals for you to download to your phone or computer. Just type your goals into the text boxes, print it out, and pin it on your own sewing room wall, just like I do in my sewing room. Set New Year's resolutions that you can actually achieve and make changes to your planner as your goals are met. It's only a one-page planner, but you can reprint it a gazillion times and it's 99 cents.